Gamer with orange.
All right.
There's absolutely.
We're about to get into this here.
If you want to play.
So quick thing.
Somebody will have it.
We're going to be doing a frame perfect trick that includes a restart. Like within the first 10 seconds here. If I miss it, since I'm going back to the title screen, we'll just restart the timer because we're going back to the title screen anyway. No sense of.
Alright. Largest donation gets to name your opponent. Oh, I guess not.
It won't matter because
You got the color set up right?
Yep, it's all good. All right, so hopefully we don't need to come back here, but we might have to do it a couple times. 3, 2, 1,
go!
All right.
Already a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
So first thing we're gonna
Losing
do,
time.
like I mentioned, this is Twilight Princess Moon Jump all dungeons. First thing we're gonna do is hop up here and hopefully get back in time. Okay, that should work. So it's a frame perfect trick where we void out and restart on the same frame. And what that does is it loads us onto the title screen, and we can then void out and then save the title screen state that it spawns us in onto our file.
Big brains.
So the frame perfect part's already over?
Yes.
Okay.
Crazy how you can get it that early now.
So obviously with Moon Jump we can just jump up there and get out of bounds really quickly. Alright, so the back in time glitch. Basically now we have Sword and Shield, Hero's Clothes, we got already. It spawns us in Farron, which is really nice. But the biggest thing that it does is it tames Epona. There's a thing you do after Elden Twilight where you have to like calm Epona down before you go back to Orden. And that flag is already set, which means that Bo's house in Orden is already unlocked. So we can go get the Iron Boots right away in the run. Well, pretty early on we'll be doing something.
Big sumo hours?
Yeah, so we'll be doing that pretty early in the run. So since we have Moon Jump, we can take this shortcut. We don't have to go through the tunnel or anything like that. So Moon Jump adds a lot to routing. It adds a lot of different glitches you wouldn't expect. A lot of times you hear Moon Jump and you're like, you know, that's probably a really easy run, probably. Like you'd think that it makes, and it definitely makes some things easier, but it actually adds a lot of challenges too that you'll be seeing as we go throughout the run. I got an LJA off that Dekubaba there, which gives me extra speed, and I can keep that speed going with the Moon Jump.
A long yump attack.
Yep. And we're going to be heading right to Force Temple. This is normally the first dungeon you go to. Normally, this is kind of similar to what a regular 80% run would do, but they would go and free Tallow and the Monkey right away. We are not going to be doing that for a little bit here. We're going to go straight to Force Temple. So we can just jump up and go right in.
Yeah. Bless you, Link. Bless you.
So getting to Force Temple this early would be super nice if we could do it in regular speedrunning, but you can't. But of course, Moon Jump you can. A couple things that are really nice about coming here. So for one, with Moon Jump, we're able to do a lot of things a lot earlier. And included in that is getting Master Sword. So we need, basically we're going to be getting Master Sword before we can even warp. So we need a way to be able to warp right now. So number one thing we need is an Uku, which I know Josh loves. So we're going to be getting the Uku right here. I do a little jump, spin attack there to make the bomb blow up sooner. I know Josh loves these guys.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So this is sort of like the Furor's Wind type thing in this game where you can warp in and out of a dungeon. So now we're going to do a little pit stop, get the boss key really quick here. We're not going to be beating this dungeon for actually about a half hour or so. But we get the boss key now because it's on the way. Because we're going to be next getting the boomerang. And if you know this game, you know the boomerang.
It's actually the big key.
The big key in this game. I hate that it's called the big key, to be honest.
It's called that in Wind Waker.
Yeah, I hate it. It's like,
The big key.
It is a big
Can you have 2 big keys at the same time?
yeah, they would just be separate dungeons.
do be big.
Alright, so we're going to be doing a side hop over here. So
happened.
we went on the right trail, which leads to the boss, and all these trails are loaded up here. So we can go to the middle trail, and here's Ook. So normally there's a cutscene that plays when you enter the middle trail, and he breaks the bridge down, but we didn't hit that trigger, so he's just sort of standing there, and now we come in here, and he's here for us to fight.
He's just outside.
Yeah, right? And one downfall of Moonjump is that you actually have to 2-cycle Ook. Because in regular 90% runs, you have the Master Sword at this point, but we don't want to get the Master Sword before this. Because we want the Boomerang to get to the Master Sword, and we also, just with how we're simple routes, we want the Uku because we need to warp out of getting Master Sword. It'll be really slow without a way to warp. So it just is best in this category. Whoops. To just take the time off and do the 2-cycle.
Weirdo nudist.
He's new to this.
So you get the Boomerang in just 5 minutes in this category, which is very nice. So, like I mentioned, Boomerang, super busted item. And regular speedruns, you can do it to use it to do the long jump attacks where you can cross gaps and things. Not only can you cross gaps, but it also is really fast. Like over twice the speed of like rolling or dashing as well. So we can use that and chain it into a moon jump and keep that speed when we cross really large areas and things like that. So we'll be doing that right after we leave the dungeon here, after our first visit here.
Boomer.
Boomer mode unlocked.
Alright,
Let's
so,
go, Boomer.
So, a lot of speedruns would save and quit to get out of here. Most speedruns really don't leave here normally. We are going to because we're going to be kind of using this Force Temple as our warp point, like, I guess a hub area, sort of, I guess. Because we're going to be warping back and forth between Force Temple a lot over this next 25-minute section of the run here. So we want to be at a place, first of all, we can't Uku out of boss rooms, and we also want to be at a nice place for getting to Diababa, which is pretty quick to get to from this area here.
Oh, he put the bug back on.
And there he is again.
Oh, the thing is in his eyes.
We will be seeing him several more times.
Isn't this a boss room though? The boss is right there.
Yeah, right. So we'll be Ukuing out for now. We'll be coming back here. So we haven't beaten this dungeon. Of course we have to, but we don't want to beat it yet, and I'll get into that later.
No one's forcing you, Joe. You don't gotta do anything you don't want to do.
Alright, so we're gonna head over to get Master Sword now. You can get Master Sword super early in this category. So this is the long jump attack into a moon jump, so we can just keep that speed. And we can get all the way over to Sacred Grove here.
Is there fall damage in this game?
There is. Yeah, I took full damage there.
Can it kill you?
Oh.
Yeah, I killed it. It
Like
kills
from
you.
full health?
Yeah, I think it is a max of 4 as Wolf or something. I can't remember. And then I can't even remember. It can't, like, do more than 4 hearts. I have a bad angle here, so I'm gonna have
Bad feeling.
Yo, he's got the pose.
Alright, so you can just skip all of Sacred Grove. So normally chase the Skull Kid around. We can just jump to the last room and take the back exit here. Normally, after Master Sword, you would take this other exit here. This is normally the one you would take when you head into Temple of Time. But it's faster to take this one. And then we don't have to do the puzzle.
Yeah. Change them to switch costume. Tip the ass of weird.
Alright, let's see this thing.
Dude,
And
what
this is going
you
to be a
skipped
pretty
the fucking puzzle.
frightening sight here.
What
Be
about the
aware.
puzzle?
Oh man, I bet we've never seen this frightening sight before.
Yo!
Oh!
I haven't seen that.
Oh! Oh, what's
So,
wrong with his hands?
For those at home, you're supposed to get the Master Sword as Wolf Link, and that is the game attempting to make Human Link Wolf Link. So getting the Master Sword, normally the 3 things it does is it gives you ability to warp, allow to transform, and then the double damage you get from the sword. We can't do 2 of those because we don't have Midnight on our Z button, so we literally can't, warp. Plus we don't have any portals or anything. So there's really no advantage yet. But once we turn Wolf, we'll have those.
Who's that?
That's Midnight, by the way. Once we turn Wolf, we'll have those advantages right away. So we haven't technically met Midnight. She's in part of this cutscene automatically. But we haven't met her for the first time. She's not in her Z button. So.
I like that character. I hope they never turn into a large, fully humanoid figure.
It might happen.
Well, that would just ruin the game.
No.
Wait, she has a collar. Wait. I'm more confused before, I never questioned it before. She's wearing clothes or is that her skin? What the fuck?
That's no.
She's a collar.
No, that's no.
No.
Fur?
Yeah, it's like her fur texture.
Yeah. Alright, so after this, we'll be ukoing back. Like I mentioned, we need that ability to warp. Normally, you would have portals at this point if you were doing an 90% run. Like I mentioned, we don't have that, so we'll be seeing Ook once again, but we won't be seeing him for long.
Yo, Ukas. Don't mind me as I just cut my pants again.
I won't mind you.
I did it last year. I'm gonna do it again. Not taking the socks off yet. You guys aren't ready for that power.
I am not ready for that.
Of course, I had to put the R in the same game.
Wow, look at that.
So there's Ook.
Pelican build monkey.
So we're going to progress the game now. We have done a lot of stuff, but we haven't actually really done the intro of the game yet. So we're going to finally rescue Tallow and the monkey here. They've been waiting for us. I didn't get that guy. Usually he runs over, but didn't notice me this time.
Are those bokoblins or those moblins?
Those are bokoblins. Or I guess bokoblins. People say different things. I don't know. This is a funny cutscene. So if you hold the moon jump, you're supposed to walk with Tallow when he's talking or whatever. But if you hold the moon jump, it'll look like he doesn't want to talk to Russell because he hasn't done his walking yet. So he doesn't walk away when he's talking to him.
Russell got the jawline though.
So now it's goats.
Russell
Should
looking like
we-
he eats
should we-
4 dozen eggs.
Should we do goats?
Yes.
Go percent.
Goat.
I'm sorry.
Dude, come on.
I bet you're not gonna get the helm splitter either.
Yeah,
What
probably.
about the great spin attack?
That would take him a long time.
Great jump attack. Please.
Magic armor?
I'm just making you suffer, aren't I?
This is the first time I've ever seen the beginning of this run in a long time. You kept starting the stream before I got home, and then I catched it by the time you got to Snow Place.
Alright, so we're now in Bo's house. I mentioned this is unlocked, but the cutscene is not playing properly.
Pierre.
The cutscene is not playing properly because normally it starts outside Bo's house, and then this dialogue all takes place in one cutscene. So the flag that normally would set Bo outside his house is getting knocked off by the Goron when you try to go to Goron Mines up to Death Mountain without Iron Boots, and he's like, you're too weak. That puts Bo outside of his house, and taming the opponent unlocks the door to get Iron Boots. So the only flag that's set him back in time is the opponent tank flag. So he's inside of his house. We have to manually go through that cutscene. It's kind of funny. So right here, hopefully we get good luck here.
Big butt.
So the strat is to get a slap on him. Of course not. So hopefully he'll let me. Okay. Alright, round one's done. Unfortunately, this game is annoying. It makes you do it twice. I don't really understand why.
Prove.
You gotta prove
Yeah,
it. So,
best 2 of 3.
the first phase, the only difference is that he has a chance to do nothing. He doesn't have that chance in this one. Okay. No.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh, I see. We know four.
Yeah.
There we go.
Next.
Alright.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait a bully and overweight person.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Are we gonna see Ilya or whatever her name
Uh,
is? Your favorite?
yeah, I don't like her.
We see that kid that thinks he's really good.
I know.
No, it's the love interest.
Oh, wait, is it the bug lady?
No.
No, she's the one that spazzes at Link when he rides Epona to save kids.
Who's the boat girl?
That took too long.
Alright, so we gotta go over here and get this 100 rupee quick. We'll need lots of rupees, really. Didn't take the sword off. We'll need lots of rupees in the run. So more than you would need in a 90% run, because there's more things we
I
buy.
just spelled it again.
So we gotta grab that 100.
AD.
So you just chuck it and just roll away.
An Orangi rupee.
And so now we're going to be heading, we've pretty much done everything in the intro of the game now.
Everyone's favorite Colin.
Yeah, Colin. One day I'm going to be as great as you, Link. There's
You
always-
will be, Colin. I believe in you.
So normally you'd crawl through that crawl space. We don't need to do that because the
Stay away from uncommon and double
cutscene triggers above. So now we're Wolf for the first time. And remember we have the Master Sword, so it's actually not going to force transform us here because of that. So we'll actually still be the deformed human there. So now this is the first Wolf section. We're in here as human. And now we'll have Midnight or Z button after this little section here where we have to figure out what to do and then there's nothing to do. So we could skip most of this. This is why getting Master Sword even earlier is really nice. So we can transform. We can skip pretty much this whole first Wolf section. We just have to do a little bit of it to get senses, which we need to get we'll need to do the second and third bug collecting. So we'll need the senses to collect them. But besides that, we can skip this whole sequence here. But all the way meeting up to Zelda, going back to Orden, and going all the way back to Farron, to the Twilight, all that is skipped. So we got to transform early here because we're going to be Ukuling out right after this. So this line dialogue, this is where you get the senses, and we want to Uku out right away. That spirit thing, even though you have to turn on senses to be able to see it, it can't see you obviously. It's considered a person, so you can't transform in front of it, so we had to transform before we get to it there, which is kind of silly. And so this will be the last. This will be the last time we Uku out. Next time we come back here, we will be completing the dungeon, which will be not too long from now.
No, that's not good.
And so now we're going to be doing something you may remember from the 2019 BGDH runs. So now this area is Twilight. This wasn't Twilight before, and that's because we, met and did the triggered that event and everything. So we're gonna first get to North Farron Pillar. Now we actually have a portal, rather, not pillar. So we actually have somewhere to warp to now, finally, which kind of makes the Uku less useful because this is essentially the same area. All right, so we're gonna be going back over to Seika Grove and introducing something you may remember known as the Howlstone alternate exits. These are something that's really cool about these moon jump runs and make the routing. Oh, whoops. Put the wrong song. This makes the routing super interesting. So what we can do is unload the Howlstone platform we're on, and then I'll just need some quiet for this.
For you.
You figured it out?
Don't know.
You're on?
Yeah, that's not a word.
And D's not a letter. That I can use.
Yeah, Joe's the taco stuff still out. Oh, no.
Ooh, one moment.
Minor.
It might be. It might be.
You're good at
Yo!
Got it.
Oh!
Alright.
Awesome.
I think it actually is put away. Chase, did you eat anything?
I did. Don't worry, I'm fine.
Okay. I don't want you going hungry. We have unhealthy things in the back.
Don't worry, I will survive
Okay.
off of that.
Okay.
No,
Alright,
I'll
so-
be fine, don't worry.
We got some names.
All of those Howlstones are loaded on the same map. You normally obviously can't get to them, but with Moonjump you can. So we can Moonjump to any of them, and we're coming to Snow Peak earlier. This will be the first dungeon we complete in the run. The reason that this one is it, basically you don't need a lot of items to complete this dungeon quickly. This is the most broken dungeon in TP for sure. You don't need a lot of items. It's really out of the way to get here. You gotta go all the way towards the main, all the way up the mountain and everything. So it takes a while to get here. This is just a nice one to knock out quick. And plus the ball and chain is nice.
Yeah, I know. I realize you're battle hardened.
I literally take fans out of the highest at 165 degrees with my bare hands.
I mean, my hands are fine. I worked at a plastic factory.
Yeah.
You know? The rest of me, not so much.
So it's foggy here right now. That's because there's a shadow-based fight you normally do right before we talk to Yodo there. We skipped that.
Santa?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Santa. You remember?
On the first pose.
No, we're not getting any pose in this one. Enough.
No pose.
Should
No
we start
pose.
our round again?
Nope.
What about in
No.
Father's Friends?
We'll get there. We're not collecting any though. So it stays foggy if you don't complete the fight. So we gotta go down here kinda blind. But it's not too bad. There's one part's a little scary, but you can. It's usually pretty easy. Hopefully. There's invisible icicles here as well. They don't all load because it's not normal.
You tell me this isn't normal.
I think you could take a shortcut with it like this.
I'm taking the shortcut right
Oh,
now.
no.
Josiah, are you saying not normal? Are you saying this isn't the developer intended method?
No, man.
Josiah hates game developers.
Clearly. Alright, so we got to Snow Peak now. We're good. We're gonna try to do a jump here, hopefully. Good, got it. So you can break the ice right away there, and now we're safe.
I would love to link off.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So this dungeon is really cool. This is my favorite dungeon in the game.
But
Red.
Breaking ice causes global warming.
Alright. So first thing we're going to do is take this path. This goes to a heart piece, normally to a dead end actually. We can LJA across normally and then chain that into a moon jump to go up above, into that ceiling there. And then this floor exists clearly. And oops.
Looks existing to me.
And then come over here, we're going to be heading to the mini boss right away here. So we can just do a side up over to the outside area here.
here's one I failed.
We turn wolf and do a little trick here. So what we can do is get hit by the freezer and use our invincibility frames to clip in between the freezer and the pillar of the door, and then load the room by opening the door from behind, accessing the Dark Hammer fight.
I much prefer light hammers. Easier to throw.
That was a good second.
Oops, wasn't quite close enough to the trigger there. So this fight's a little tricky without claw shot. I hate it. So we gotta let him load up a little bit there, and then if he hits us, he'll actually throw his ball and chain. Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
2 cycles. Woo.
I'm gonna probably die. Is it a heart? So I'm gonna for sure take a quarter heart of damage. This is kind of scary actually.
Where is the bomb machine?
Yeah, does anyone know what I need to do next? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what do you have to do?
That's what we gotta do. Okay.
I don't know, could you get a red circle? I'm still having trouble. It's so far away, you know.
Okay, I might die.
There's an age-old adage.
Don't you mean Link might die?
No, there's actually a
Hold
gun.
on,
Just
I need to focus here. Alright, I might die up here. It's not over. Please. Uh-oh.
Go.
Okay, not over yet. Alright, so we're gonna do a jump attack over this trigger here. Okay, we're safe now.
Nice.
Okay. Alright. So that's a little scary, but we can do a jump attack to skip the trigger of getting the other door locked.
bedroom key.
So now we get the bedroom key.
Ooh.
You had the same response in my 2019 run to that. You're like, ew.
It's a good joke.
Is there a big bedroom key?
I mean, if you saw the size of the Santa Claus.
It is a pretty big room. So we did a save warp, and we're gonna
Yeah.
just go back through the dungeon now
What
to
to
the
say
boss
about
room.
big guys?
And that is actually about 5 seconds faster than doing the fight and fighting all those guys and whatnot. And it's also safer because you can get your health back, which is nice. So I messed it up, so I gotta do the backup strat there. You can just do a side up.
See, that floor was so real.
Yes, it was. And now hopefully, if I get this. Alright, so you can do side up with ball and chain here, and it actually you'll fall faster, and then take you to the boss room.
Nice.
Look at all big love lock. Oh, you broke the heart.
That was their love.
As long as
You
have
see,
the
this
happy
whole thing is a metaphor for having an
hideouts
affair.
yourself. Just don't submit it.
Best boss fight in the game.
Yeah, this one's pretty fun.
Well, the problem is I don't.
So the first phase here, we just gotta
So I gotta have.
hit the.
Oh, but there's all the furniture disappeared.
Sounds like cheating.
Well, she ruined the entire room. If you watch the cutscene.
Blows it away.
Yeah,
Well, when I know that, you don't let us watch the cutscene.
that was nice RNG there.
Shut up.
Bit,
Tiny dancer.
Alright, so for the second phase here, we're going to try to do a 1 cycle. What you normally do here, she has a bunch of icicles and then she makes a circle around you. You're supposed to break a few of them and then you'll have an opening so you can hit her. We're going to try to do something a little bit different here.
Is it called Moon Jump Out?
No, it's not. So, we're going to let all of the icicles fall down, but we're not going to break any. So the circle will be completely a circle, so there's no opening. And then we're going to go up against a wall here and back up a little bit, and then we're going to use invincibility frames and get pushed into the circle here. Oh, that's alright.
Oh,
We should be able to get a 2 cycle. So that's unfortunate. I had a bad angle there. So we'll try to do it for the 2 cycle here.
I really like music.
Yeah, I love music. It's so good. Really? That sucks, alright. Well,
Now it's a 3 clean.
yeah. Well, that's a little ridiculous, but, you know, it happens, I guess. I don't miss that too often.
3 times the charm.
Yeah.
3 times a lady.
It should,
27.
should still be a sub 30 Snow Peak.
It's Santa.
That's Mrs. Claus.
It's a vampire. But how will we cure her without the pose? The pose of Christmas. Wow, a rock.
So that's the first dungeon complete. And this is normally the 5th dungeon that you complete.
Rock.
And I got a pretty amazing, unskippable cutscene coming up.
Unskippable.
Most important trick in the game here, though, coming up. I gotta get this gainer. If I don't get it, then nothing happens, but it's cool.
You better get it.
Ah. There's one friend you can do an input there, and if you do a backflip, he'll do a gainer. It's pretty cool.
You gonna come tell me the damn word?
So, this is a lovely cutscene here.
Yeah.
Look into Yellow's eyes.
Oh, he's so cute.
Who need me roar?
Yeah, didn't tell me the word.
How does Link feel about it?
That's the sound of jealousy, my friend.
try to get this ball and chain throw here. Got it. So you can actually pick up the prayer container with the. Okay, still a sub 30.
Seems like a time loss to pick up
So
a
that's
heart
okay.
container.
Usually, a good time here would be like a mid 27.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Alright. Heading to get your dad?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
space.
Sounds good.
You-
Yeah, you got
Crap.
plenty of time.
I've got space.
So now we're gonna go back and beat Force Temple finally. We've been going in and out
Playing
of
Clash
there.
of Clans, bro?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. How's your clan? Are they clashing?
He's a Clash of
I
Clanners.
tried to play Clash of Clans, but I just couldn't.
I call it kind of this
You know, 2022 is really the takeoff point of Clash
Oh,
of
yeah.
Clans. You know,
Alright, so we're gonna go back
I played
over,
Clash Royale for a while.
heading back over to this area here.
What happened?
This is the trail we kind of started on, but we were on the other side, so now we're gonna head over to the boss. Get this
What about the
done.
monkeys? Don't the monkey.
We don't need to save those.
This is all dungeons.
Yes.
The monkeys.
Is this the Force Temple?
This is the Force. Well, actually, this game has two Force Temples.
More accurately, this was.
No. Ever.
Oh.
Alright,
That's
so-
a deep cut.
I don't
This
quite get it.
this boss fight's actually kind of hard. There's a new strat I've been doing. So there's a strat called Ookless. Normally Ook, the mid boss you've been seeing, helps you out by giving you some bombs. We're gonna try to take 2 bombs during this first phase and juggle them around in the second phase to finish the fight. And it saves 40 seconds if we can get it. So we gotta take 2 bombs here. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm gonna reset it up because it's cool. It would be faster at this point to not, but I'm gonna reset up because it's cool. Actually, it's probably still faster. I'm doing it, resetting it up like that.
I mean, yeah, if it saves 40
40
seconds,
seconds,
you probably
yeah.
only spent about 10 waiting.
Alright, so what we're going to do now, we have these 2 bombs. Every time you boomerang them, the timer restarts for the bomb ticking off. So we're going to try to do this.
Baba Dragon.
Why would it have an eye on its tongue?
Alright. Well, we used one of them, so we're going to have to spawn Ook, unfortunately. The other bomb did not get picked up by the boomerang. So, not great, but... So I have to spawn Ook now. So which means you gotta watch the tunnel cutscene.
Bruh. That works.
It's kind of weird because normally the music plays a little part, like something different when he comes, but it just keeps playing the same thing because we did it differently. But we just gotta hit one more time. I got to show up at least part of the strat. Normally you would throw the other bomb away and then use it for the second hit. That's right. So that's Force Temple.
Why is our grounds a forest temple?
We'll get to that. But that's not for a long time.
A long time? I can't be here for a long time.
Like an hour and a half from now.
That's an hour and a half. That's like 90 minutes. You know what I could do in 90 minutes? Watch an episode of 90 minutes.
Makes sense.
Alright, so the reason we haven't beaten this dungeon yet, we wanted to wait till it was Twilight, because once we leave this area, it's going to force warp us to South Farron. And something this new route does very well is utilize forced warps to do something like immediately in that area. So by forced warps, I mean warps after dungeons or cutscenes. This route really does it well, where it leads right to something. You don't have to warp somewhere else or anything like that. Which is
pretty cool.
Which is really nice. So we'll be going out here and getting the B charge.
It's one heart container, but not the other.
Yeah, there's certain ones I get, certain ones I don't get. That is one I do not get. I'll end the run with 7 hearts.
And if you're really good at the game, you don't need to start, so.
There's certain tricks that, like, there's certain reasons you get certain ones. We're coming to the portal here. We don't need to get this portal. We're not going to get it. The only reason we're here is because this is where you learn the B charge, which is that big orange hand attack with Wolf. So normally Minna like throws you to these guys and says to do them on your own. And then you try to fight them and you realize you can't, and then she's like, here's how to do the B charge. We can just jump to the trigger where she tells us how to do the B charge, and we just jump to her, and then she'll just tell us how to do it, and now we can do it, and we can just warp away. And go to our one and only portal. For now.
For now. Technically, you must have 2 portals, because you have to have a portal to get to them.
Correct. Alright, so we're going to be heading to our second towel jump of the run. There's 3 in total. So this one is also pretty hard, so I'll just need some quiet for this one. We're gonna, before we do it, we're gonna be taking some fall damage here. We'll be doing a death warp in a little bit here. Part of the reason we did not pick up that heart container, actually. Alright, so those are the 2 hardest ones, and we got them both first try, so I'm really happy about that. The last one is actually really easy, because it's really close, so the angle is really not precise for the last one. But those first 2 are pretty challenging. We're going to be heading off to Gora Mines now, which is the second best dungeon. It actually probably has the coolest route.
How many dungeons are there? We're 2 in?
There's 9. If you include Zan's Palace and Hyrule Castle, there's 9. So 7 not including the Zan canon. But a lot of them are super quick, of course. So we're getting the Death Mountain portal here. This one will be an important one. And we don't need to clear the Twilight to get to Gorn Mines with Moon Jump. I'll just Moon Jump up. And normally when you get here, you have to sumo wrestle the Goron in order to get in. We can't do that anyway because the Master Sword makes it all weird here. There are some ways around that, and this is the Moon Jump way to get around that. To get here super early. So what I did was I did a regular long jump attack to get over the loading zone, and then I backpedaled with a jump attack, and now we're heading to the trail that we should barely get into. I kind of had a little bit of a bad angle there, but we should be good to get into Gora Mines here. And here we are. So this dungeon's super cool. It's short, but hopefully it goes well. This one's really fun. So first thing we're going to try to do is do an LJA across this whole room if it goes well.
Pretty Goron-y to me. Lots of rocks and larvae.
We did. And then hop up here.
How come we still moon jump?
Yeah, I know. Well, I put them on after. Yeah. So you can just jump down here to get this key. You don't have to take that ramp down. And then we're going to be doing this dungeon in reverse now. So we're going to go way up here to this door that normally you enter way later. And this gate, you normally open it and come through this door. We're going to clip through it. Ah, messed it up there. Cutscene just like a little bit weird, awkward room there, but no, not too bad. And then, so we're going backwards through the dungeon toward the mini boss room now. First thing we're going to be doing is getting the. Oh, I got the. Careful here. We actually do want to. Oh, we got it. Luckily in TP, you do end up at the front of rooms. But that's a little bit ridiculous. I should have been a little more careful there. I think we'll be okay. Where are we going to spawn? Okay, this is. So yeah, in TP, luckily, when you die, you don't. It's not as costly. Really? Come on. This never happens. So stupid. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. So we gotta go in here and get the last key shard. In this dungeon you get 3 key shards that make up the boss key. And if you get the 3rd one, like a lot of games, they'll just be considered as all 3. So unfortunately now, since we died, we got 3 hearts, so we actually have to take some damage now, because we need to be at least 2. And we got back up to 3. Alright, take some damage there. And here's the bow. So normally you obviously get this after the boss fight, the mid boss fight. So what we're going to do now is head back into that room from the back side. And when you enter this room, it's going to be a little bit weird here. So there's bars down, and then we'll enter through them, and then they'll go back down. And then we're going to do a death warp. So when you do a death warp in this room, it's assuming that we died to the fight. So it's actually going to spawn us on the front side, so we can skip the mid boss altogether. So after that, it'll spawn you where you would spawn if you were to die to that boss fight, and then we can just bypass it all together and head to the outside area that'll lead to Virus. So we're already basically done with the dungeon. So Virus here is not very threatening. He looks threatening.
Well, that's mean. I think he's very threatening.
Well,
He's a cool one.
he is basically a mini boss, but he's supposed to be a main boss.
Oh, right. This is the
Yeah, but you literally just do what I'm just doing right now 3 times. It's so cool, but it deserves a second phase, like of some kind.
He's not even made of real.
Oh no, we skipped.
He's like the Smoky Paws from fucking Pikmin. You fight the horseback moblin?
We do, yes.
Whoa, arrows.
We do use a lot of arrows in this run, so it's good to end with 29 rather than 26.
This guy is just like a Nerf Balrog.
What?
He's on fire, he's got like chain things, he's a Balrog.
Oh,
I don't know what I agree.
I've seen Lord of the Rings, or as I like to call it,
Okay.
King of the Circles.
Do you think Balrogs have wings, Josh?
Baelors have wings.
What?
A Baelor has wings,
Okay.
and a Baelor is basically a Balrog.
There's a huge controversy about that in the Lord of the Rings community.
Well, aren't they like the old angels or whatever?
What's he talking
Isn't the
about?
Balrog one of like
Balrogs.
Baelor has wings, and it's basically a Balrog. So like,
Wasn't the
know.
Balrogs part of Melkath's army?
Yep.
Take over Midgard. Is it Midgard, right?
Middle Earth.
Middle Earth. I'm sorry. Midgard.
The
Middle
Earth
and the
became a
first-
sphere because the elves left.
Yeah.
Elves see the world as flat. Damn, he heathen.
Do you ever get to see him again?
This guy?
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah. And we'll actually see him one more time, actually.
Bro, he got the Polnareff hair. I was describing to someone who had never seen or really heard anything about JoJo's. I was describing JoJo then in a Discord, like, just chat, text chat. Oh, Lord. I'm like, yeah, and then, he stops time, and this guy skips time, and it's different.
Yeah.
That's a drastic oversimplification. This guy speeds up time. And I kind of gave up once I got to part 6. I'm like, figure it out on your own.
Alright, so we're back in, after that dungeon of Warp City Kakariko, which is where we want to be. So first thing I did was I voided out there, because when you come back here, it should not be should not be Twilight, and it is because we haven't completed it, so it's kind of conflicting states. So we reloaded the area there without getting crushed by the bell, to make it fully Twilight. And then through the Shadow Beast fight here, we're going to do our bug collecting. This one is actually really the only bug collecting that I would say is really interesting and pretty cool to watch. We don't do the first Fair and Twilight bug collecting at all. You don't need to do that one. We do Linearu, and that one's not quite as interesting, but this one has some cool stuff in it, I'd say. So first place we go, most people would go into this building right here that we're right in front of first. We'll be going in there a little bit differently. We're going to be going to the graveyard first. And this one has one bug, but it also has the back side of the sanctuary building, which leads to the basement where the bugs are in that building we just passed. And normally you cannot enter there unless you came out of there as Wolf, but as Human Link, during the Twilight you can actually clip through here for whatever reason with a side hop. And this is going to have something really cool that is pretty new actually to Twilight Princess. So first we're going to do these basement bugs hastily. Hopefully. Very good. And this is kind of a new thing. So you might remember that there's a trick called Early Seeing in the Sky, where you can clip into this statue here. And we're actually going to be doing that here. Let me hopefully get it here. So you can basically just transform at the right angle as human, and then Wolflink will get pushed right through. And then we're going to start warping the cannon, but of course we can't warp the cannon because we don't have access to Lake Hylia. So the reason we did that is to basically start the event of warping, because the midnight will normally prevent you from warping it, because Shad is down there like watching you. And basically later in the game Shad will be there, and you'll see what that brings in about an hour from now. But for now, we're going to just clear out the rest of the Twilight. I've got our Malamart bug here. So this one has a pretty cool strat. You can bonk the wall here, and then kind of had a bad angle there, but it should come down still. So if you bonk the wall, it'll come down to you. I had a little bit bad angle. If you have a better angle, it'll come down a little bit faster there, but still probably about time with going up there. And then we'll be going up to the inn, which we can just do a moon jump up there. Do a dash cancel there, so I have enough speed to cross that gap with a regular jump there. Otherwise you won't. And then these bugs are kind of cool. No, not this one. Oh, really? So you just have to like this. Hopefully, you don't go up there. So if you are in a bad position there, the bug will like go up on the top of the house or top of the wood there. We leave that to you for now because we'll be getting that on the way back. For now, we're gonna go with the second one. Really? And then we'll be heading back there and get that tier on the way back. Because when you kill a bug, you have to always wait a little bit before you can collect the tier.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then this abandoned house here. Not too much on this one. Didn't want the rupee text there. So for rupees, ideally by the end of Twilight, we are at 120 rupees. We're on a pretty good pace. We're at 107, so hopefully we get there. If not, there's backup rupees. That's not a problem. But ideally, we're on that maybe 120 at the end of not this Twilight, but the next one. So we can go up to Barnes Bomb Shop here. There's one bug in here, and then after this is a pretty cool shrub. So this one we can kill and then just go up here. Oops.
Not to take away from the run, but I'm so enticed by this post on Reddit ad by.
Can you wait 1 second? I got a trick coming up here. So right here, this is the bomb. You normally blow this house up, but what we're gonna do is kill the bug before it can go into the house. And you can do this with a long jump attack. And that bug has a flag tied to it, where if you hit it or kill it, the house is just considered blown up. So, so you can actually do this without moon jump. It's really easy to go over there with just an LJA. Even actually jumping over as wolf is possible. So it's really easy to go over there. So that's a pretty cool trick. It saves about 45 seconds.
Wow.
Nice, nice.
They just figured that out.
No, that's been a known thing for a long time. Probably at least 6 years. Yeah. All right, what's up, Josh?
This post ad from the Ford verified user. Spoiler: Ford CEO Jim Farley sat down with the one and only Tom Brady to talk about fatherhood, leadership, and the newest F-150 Raptor and why football players love big trucks. Listen now on Spotify, #DrivePod.
Oh, no. Tommy,
And then the Bible quote of the day. And then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest."
Interesting combo there.
Not sure why the Bible quote of the day comes at 7:30 p.m., but
it's right when you're winding down, dude.
I opened it up to like
I get
reference one quote, and now it gives me notifications.
I get mine at 10:05 p.m. every day. That's weird.
You like that?
He sees you
I like- I
when
mean,
you're
it's fine.
sleeping.
That's fine. Alright, so if you remember, we did a howl jump to Death Mountain earlier, and right after that we actually killed the bug that's in this area, but we didn't have the vessel at the time. We couldn't collect it here, but now we can just collect it straight away. We don't have to wait for it. And now we got 2 more bugs to collect here. Got the wall dash there.
I think you should just be able to pick up any old bug you want. Why they gotta be special bugs? That's buggist.
And it's the final bug, so this is all in Twilight. Alright. Okay, so the next 5 minutes are pretty
Photo time.
No. So first thing we're gonna do is Josh referenced earlier the Kimbolden fight. So once you get Iron Boots, there is a trigger outside of Kakariko from Kakariko Gorge to activate the Kimbolden 1 fight. Normally you come back here with Epona, and that's the only way you can get back here. we can actually activate it from the opposite side because, you know, the game's broken. So if we just roll here, we'll just go back.
What a
and hit-
rad force field. I hope nothing happens to that force field.
And so the reason we want to do this fight is because in this category, it's fastest to buy a bomb bag instead of getting the Goron bomb bag that a lot of other categories would do, where you get the bomb bag underwater or whatever. In this category, it's just faster and more convenient to get the barn bomb bag. In order to unlock all the shops and open them up, we got to do the Game Over in one fight. So we're going to try to do this all with the bow if we can. Alright. We're going to instead plan B, do the last few hits. Last hit there with the sword there. Sometimes that can work out, sometimes it can't. And we do use a lot of arrows in the run, so I'm kind of mindful of that. And this one, normally you have to just use your sword, but with the bow it's really easy.
That's cheating.
That's game design. Do we have the bow normally this early?
No, this is, you normally have the bow for the second Cable One fight, where he has like shields on both sides, but you don't normally for this fight, no.
Shields up, men!
Can you do a 360 no scope on a horse?
Not really.
I'd like to note, not that this is something to really be proud of, but we're an hour into one of Joe's runs and I haven't fallen asleep.
Dude, that's impressive.
Normally I am very tired by this point.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's keeping me going, but
that's impressive.
I'm gonna go all the way. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe. I'll try it. I'm trying.
Alright, so we'll be getting the bomb bag here.
Ryan has
So it's 120 rupees.
What?
Your speedrun coming up.
Oh yeah.
Homie.
Joe, did you make a list at all?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I'll leave that to you guys,
Okay.
because wasn't really sure. I forgot. Dude, really? Alright, so we're gonna go back and do our final howl jump of the run. As cool as the Howlstone exits are, once you open up the game a bit and have warp portals, they become less and less useful because you can just warp to places. They're really good early on when you want to open up the game quickly, but once you open up the game, it becomes useful. We're going to be taking this one to Lake Hylia. I'm going to actually grab a heart here. Just because for my visual cue, I like to have 5 hearts.
So these portals, they give you access to big parts of the game, right? Kind of let you go where you please.
Yeah, so these are all loaded on the same map. All the warp portals, or all the
Yeah,
Howlstone.
the world is real, you know.
Yeah, so this one's really easy.
Better not miss that.
It's an open world game.
Shouldn't miss it. Good. So that one's really close. So that angle is much less precise. And it's hard to miss. So that brings us to Lake Hylia. And coming up is a pretty hard thing. This is kind of a roadblock for a lot of runners. And the thing about in this run is we kind of have to YOLO it because of how we get here. So in this run we will not be getting the Zora armor. We will be skipping it entirely. So we are going to be having to get into Lakebed Temple without the Zora armor.
Well, unlike in Breath of the Wild, the Zora armor doesn't even come with a waifu, so it's not even worth it.
So first I gotta just go under to bring up the air meter just to be safe, because if you notice how it took a bit for the air meter to come up there. That's because a lot of times it'll come up right away depending on like how you enter the water and things like that. It's a little bit weird. So right here I'm gonna try to clip into this pillar. Oh, it's too early. So in Moonjump it's nice because in regular speedruns you would not have the luxury of being able to moonjump up and retry. You'd have to just take the death, which is nice, but it's still not going up that road. Okay, that should be good. Uh-oh. I don't think we're gonna make it. Okay, good.
Oh,
Oh, so I was a little bit worried about my angle there because I kind of was angled out a little bit. So I kind of had to shimmy back to the right, so it's really tight there. So I was afraid I wasn't going to quite have enough air, but thankfully we got in. Second try, that's not bad at all. And into Lakebed Temple. We're not going to be here for too long, but you know, of course, underwater dungeon. This is obviously our biggest roadblock in terms of beating it without Zora armor. We got in here. Now we need a way to be able to come back, which, you know, the Uku. Because once we get into Linear Twilight a little bit here, we'll be raising the water, which means we won't even be able to get back here normally. So we need an Uku to be able to come back. So that's the main reason we're here. We won't be getting claw shot yet or anything like that.
Goku.
That's right over here. Alright, gotta do hopefully a cool thing here, but that I ate. Oh, missed it. That's alright. So instead, we'll just slide that back across. You can do a little cool jump there, where you like go on a little ramp and then jump over, but I kind of messed it up. So now we're gonna go in here and Uku out from here. So this leads to the mid boss, but we don't want to do that yet because we'll be doing a cool trick to get to the mid boss quicker.
Mine is
later on.
bossiest.
So this will be all we do for Lakebed for right now.
Ooh, that's one. Some jerks.
So that was kind of the first that's first section of the run there. That's jam-packed with a lot of crazy things. The next little section I would say is the least interesting, like the next like 25 minutes or so. We'll be doing Linear Twilight and Temple of Time back to back, which are probably the least interesting parts of the game. So this is a good break time if you need a bathroom or snack or something the next little bit. I still have things I'll talk about, but
Oh yeah.
Now that everyone's
Like
left,
how vibrant.
for those of you watching the VOD in the future, the secret code is L3942879904, Josiah's social security number. Which obviously you all know, as it was the first part of this ARG, and I posted it in every pizza box in the zip code.
Also the
the back line.
really?
where'd you get it?
Yeah.
Is that just a sticker?
It's just okay, yeah.
So it's a lot louder speakers and stuff.
Does it have the fan problem? No.
So one difference between this route and the old route that I did last time in 2019, the old route would do a Howlstone jump to Upper Zora's River, and then it would go get the Zora's Domain portal right away, but and then it would actually be able to skip this flight here. The reason that's bad is because you can't really progress linear with that early because you need to get to Lakebed. So what the old route had to do was warp to do the Howlstone jump to Upper Zora's River, go to Zora's Domain, get the portal, and then go all the way back to Upper Zora's River and do a death warp to get to Lake Hylia, and then go to Lakebed. It was just not great with the backtracking. It's more worth it to just do this flight and do it the way we're doing it here.
A lot of things falling over here.
There's actually a way to clip out of bounds in this early in the flight. It saves about 6 seconds, but I'm not very consistent at it, and it's not really worth it for me.
And it only saves you 6 seconds.
Yeah. And you can basically take a more direct path to the exit instead of doing like the zigzaggy path, but it's not that big of a time save. It's pretty cool.
Wait, Joe, don't go towards the light.
You should bonk, Joe.
I have actually bombed right by that exit before. It has happened.
I've seen that.
Alright, so we're just heading up to Zora's Domain now. Pretty much just doing the narrow Twilight in full.
Running and running and running.
That's unfortunately something we just have to do.
I was seen on the other side. I wasn't even on the screen.
So we're jumping up to get to Zora's Domain here. We jumped early because there's a minute text that we wanted to skip. So we gotta do a jump early there. So afraid. I had a weird angle, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna pop off or something weird.
Which means I can hit one shot.
Alright, then we gotta get the portal here.
The Midna Skiop. Midna has been skiop.
Oops. So, for the Shadow Beast fights, a lot of times the way you think about them is the last one you target in your B charge is the first one you'll attack. So a lot of times I'll have that in mind when I'm fighting them. Now we get to melt the place up.
What you building up over there?
My OS currently.
Did you make your own?
Oh, you know it. I compiled from source.
Hopefully we get a rupee here. Sometimes these rocks will be nice.
Get the root.
Nope, not today.
Caleb,
So, it's a cool thing coming up here, little cutscene skip.
Do not use that.
You know, I spotted right here. The dude's right over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who else?
So, after you warp this back, there's normally a cutscene that plays of the Zora Queen spirit coming and talking to you, and we really don't want to talk to her. And we're actually before that even, hopefully. Yeah, got it. So there's one frame there you can do, whoops. You can do that side hop to skip a minute text, and then we do Iron Boots underneath here. This skips that cutscene I mentioned with the Zora Queen. She's telling us to like save her son. We're never gonna save him, so might as well not talk to him. Yeah. Prince. Yeah.
See if this actually runs.
Slay the spider.
I haven't tested it on this.
Alright. So coming up is Linear Twilight. Most people's least favorite section of the game is Linear Twilight.
Do the aesthetic.
Definitely up there for me.
I like these little guys.
Some interesting.
Oh, yeah. Eat 'em.
No, they're all separate.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Love animals.
It's a shame they gotta go anyway. Oh, this way. Ooh.
Yes, I just can't wait to live in a completely quiet home with not an animal inside, unless they're outside the house.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of those like tiny little like persistent noisemakers. Just hide them everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
He make a noise for like 6 months. Right? It's insane.
Still trying to load.
I just have to restart. In full screen.
Alright, so we only got 2 of the bugs in Lake Hylia right now. There's 4, well, I guess 5 if you include the boss bug, but that's obviously last. We're not going to get the other ones right now. And I'll get into that in a bit, but the route is actually a little bit different than a casual would do.
What a casual.
Or like whatever here. So to get that bug, we gotta just do that. And then we actually have to skip the cutscene again here. So the one that I talked about earlier, we're going to skip it twice. I'm going to try to do something. This is kind of tricky. There's a little side up you can do off this waterfall. I'm going to go for it. We'll see if I get it. Got it. Alright, so you can do a side hop there. Really? Hello? Camera? And this can give us our last remaining rupees as well, which is nice. And then we got the worst bugs in the game. No lily pad bugs. Everyone hates these.
Oh yes.
They're already starting. I got that one pretty quick. Oh, I didn't mean to sign up. Oh, he dodged. That was okay. Really, bro? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try to do a jump up here, get this bug over here. And we're good on money, so we don't need to worry anymore about that. And we're gonna head over to the land and do more running. But this run will get cool again soon. But for right now, it's not that cool. We actually have to howl again, but not to do a howlstone jump. We need to get the ending blow and the.
Well, you're getting the ending.
I might as well go back.
You
and
might
just
as
do-
well get the helm splitter too.
Yeah.
You have to. Come on.
So
How much more would
it would take. Anyone know what song this is?
No.
What about helm splitter percent?
No, that's the. Yes. That's that. That was Requiem stream.
Okay. That was close.
Yeah.
Shadows for you.
Or no. Nocturne is da 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 or whatever. It's a da 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 da. Yeah. Alright, gotta go talk to this lady. Or I guess not talk to her, but interact with her. We actually don't hear her do her bloody murders for any of this run, unfortunately. Since we don't get the other bomb bag in this run. Alright, so now this is the worst part of this Twilight is going to get the bug we're on the quest to get now. So there's a bug all the way in Castletown, and we have to go all the way across that hill to get it. But thankfully we do have Moon Jump, so we can speed it up with our LJ. But it's still not fun. And then we'll be doing another one here. We gotta get to the what?
The postman.
Really? Well, we can. If the run, this run's already pretty bad, so sure. At the end of the game, I'll try to remember.
No, that's fine.
No, dude.
Okay, more deals. Twice. Sticking with the bottom.
Yeah, that would be a 40-minute time loss versus a 20-second time loss if we saw him at the end of the run, so take your pick. And in this area, if you're human, it's actually faster than wolf because your roll speed isn't any slower, but wolf dash speed, it's like the same, but it like decreases really quickly. Like you're pretty slow as wolf, so it's actually best to stay human until getting to the bottom. Plus, you can't transform anyway because it thinks that there's people here. And finally, we got this one bug that we came all the way over here for. We can go back to Lake Hylia now and do this last section. So, if you know this game, you might remember that there's a section of bugs where you have to do the flying bird thing again and get some of the bugs. And that flying section leads up to Upper Zor's River. So you may be wondering, like, why wouldn't you just take that up to Upper Zor's River? That's what Kaiser would probably do. And then from Upper Zor's River, they might do Castletown bug, and then go to Zor's Domain. They'd warp there, maybe. We are not going to be doing that, obviously. And I'll get into that in a second here. So in Lake Hylia, there are 2 howl grass patches. And we chose the one by that was closer by the cannon there. But the default one is actually the one on the other side of Lake Hylia, where the other bug is, the second to last bug before the boss bug. So we're gonna basically just do the first half of the flight where we just get the 4 bugs in here, and then we're gonna purposely fail and bonk on the wall and end the flight and not continue. And it'll actually spawn us by the other hollow grass, and we'll be able to get the other bug that's on the way opposite side of Lake Hylia right away, and don't have to travel all the way over there. Which is really nice because it's really out of the way. So we'll just bonk and now continue. And I'll be on the way opposite side, right next to the second to last bug, before we can finally be done collecting bugs for the run. So you can see we were way over there by the cannon, we're way over here now. It's very nice. Twilight and stuff. Really. And so now we got that triggers the boss bug. So we can head over into the lake here. I don't think I'm going to trigger the fight from here. It's a little far. Oh, I did not. So this is the boss bug. She's pretty mad. She kills all her babies. So for this, we're going to try to manipulate the bug to come at us from this way, so we can just see up and it'll come right at us. And we're going to try to grab on the bug before it goes back up. Good. So that skips the attack where it like buzzes and like slowly comes down to us. And we're going to try to do that again for this second, or for the third cycle here. Nice. And then for the final hit here, we're going to try to purposely bonk on one of the legs. Good. And that skips the whole animation of the going back and forth on the bug. So you may be thinking, I should just go collect this tier and finish the Twilight.
Yes.
But we're not going to do that. We're actually going to leave here. This Twilight is basically completed at this point, but for now we're going to leave it incomplete. So just keep in mind that we have not beaten Lair Twilight. We'll get to that in a little while. For now, we're going to go to Castletown and get the golden wolf that we spawned here earlier from that Howlstone.
It's not like rolled up or something. It's like
And get the Annie Bogan.
That's my team. I'm going to be going into the tournament. You know, you should really check out Ammo Chan though.
Monchan.
Yeah.
It's a nice punch on there.
It's got iron fist, bro.
Ice punch.
All the punches.
All the elementals, nice.
Just because of iron punch, you can increase his punch values.
So, one thing about getting Ending Blow is you normally only get this move before entering Forest Temple, so you don't actually howl to spawn the Golden Wolf for this one. So, the only place you're normally supposed to ever be able to get it is right in front of the Forest Temple. So, even though we're at the Golden Wolf by Castletown, it's actually going to warp us back to North Farron, which is right where we're going to go because we're going to be heading to Temple of Time next.
It goes through. Or like obstruct. It goes through obstruct. Detect. Yeah. I don't know if it goes through max.
So once you do that, it'll actually just
Probably.
bring us right to Farm Woods. We're gonna do a long jump attack all the way over to all the way to Sacred Grove here, and head to Temple of Time.
Best dungeon.
This one actually, I used to hate it. I kind of like it now. I don't think it's great for like speedrun wise. It's not fantastic really, but it's pretty interesting as far as the lore and everything, I guess. So I kind of purposely took a bad angle because I usually a little riskier, but I want to just be safe, and of course that's fun. There's the door. So we don't have to do any of the skull kitting stuff, of course. So we just take the same route we did earlier in the game when we got Master Sword. We're gonna go strike our sword. And this Shadow Beast fight, it's really annoying. You don't need to come back to a Sacred Grove for the rest of the run, but you need to do this in order to be able to enter the door to head to Temple of Time. It's really stupid, and this is also a super annoying Shadow Beast fight here. It's terrible. Went well though. You never know how that one's gonna go. Okay. And then if you just hit the door from behind for a split second, you have enough time to actually press A to open the door from behind for whatever reason. Which is faster there because you're coming from behind. Alright, so I'm going to do a safety save here because there's something coming up that could kill my run. I normally would not save here because this is a very silly thing that could kill my run. But it shouldn't happen, but if somehow it does, we'll have a save. I'll get that in just a second here. First we gotta just use our lantern to get this chest here. I accidentally went on the chest, which is slow.
Let's take it down a second then.
Yeah. Alright, so up here there's an Uku at the top of this. And if we got this Uku, it would overwrite our Lakebed Uku, and that would be very bad. We did not hit the Uku.
Is that why you say?
Yes. We would not be able to get back to Lakebed Temple unless we had Zora Armor and up here. So. In this dungeon, we'll be getting rid of bombs, because we'll be wanting to get some water bombs later on. And so, and when we open a water bomb chest, we have to have no bombs in our bomb bag, otherwise they'll just be regular bombs. So we gotta just empty them out. This is just the perfect time to do it. Because there's a lot of jumps you do and things, and you can just take out 3 at a time every time. And there's some bomb strats as well throughout the dungeon. Or bomb arrow strikes rather.
Was this the Force Temple again?
No,
Yo,
not this one.
why is it the forest temple?
We'll get
Messiah?
to that. We'll get to that.
Why is it the forest temple? Why do you speak like that?
Go quick. Okay, I didn't get a lot of speed there because I didn't wait long enough because I was worried about the bomb blowing up before I went off. But it was still decent speed. You could tell I wasn't quite going as fast as normally. So I want to get down to 4 bombs left, and then I'll be set. So not too many left. Set here now. There's a few more bombs we'll be using, and I have 1 extra bomb in case I mess up a strat. We don't need to open up this thing normally. Normally you have to go up above and put down some switches. As Wolf Link, we can just moon jump and make our way through. Human Link is too tall to get through. And it's faster than normally you have to do Wolf to go back, but we can actually get crushed by this torch here, and that'll warp us in front of the room, and that's actually faster than doing 2 transforms, which you would need to do to transform to get out of the gate, and then transfer back to you and open the door. It's faster than just to crush there. So this can be a little bit scary here sometimes, this little room.
Lizard man.
These Zeldas can really
That key actually looks fairly large. Most of the keys I have are like smaller than my finger. That one was like as big as Link's hand.
Alright, so over here is the mid-boss. This is normally a Dark Nut fight we gotta do. We're not gonna have to do it. As is pretty common, a lot of mid-boss fights, their items are within the room, and if you can get to them, you can just do the fight, or just get the item and then leave. And then also that bomb arrow starts the fight early, you don't have to go up to them to start it. And then we can just click on
I
the
mean,
hit.
yeah, I'd start fighting you if you fucking launched a goddamn bomb at me. That's just self-defense at that point. And you're stealing his shit. His Dominion Rod, dude.
Alright, so got the Dominion Rod now. We're gonna be save warping out.
How will he rod his Dominions now?
And so we gotta save here. We're gonna be actually going to the Uku one more time, but we just saved, so if we hit it, it's not a big deal up here. But hopefully we don't hit it. So we're gonna
Still
be
haven't seen it.
We're gonna be skipping
Still haven't seen it.
the door
My
timer.
to-do button. Yeah, on my phone, remember that?
Did you?
Yeah, I remember there was like an app on my phone and it like changed. I remember you clicked it like a million times.
Alright, so right there, I just opened up the door and then moon jumped to load that room, the main room, but I moon jumped so I didn't go into it. So that room's loaded. I then did a jump attack over the room, and so we can do that to get all the way to the other side over the door timer.
The other side? Why did the Link cross to the other side?
How does a Link cross the road?
How does the Link cross the road? Well, you see, he installs cheats on his Wii.
Or why does the Link cross the road?
Really useful traps.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually, just for safety, I'm gonna grab this fairy.
A furry good one.
I should mention there is another way without moon jump that you can use to skip the door time that people do nowadays. Technically, if done well, it could save about 20 seconds, but it's a really inconsistent trick, and I wasn't able to get it quite consistent enough to show it off. I thought about showing it off, but I didn't feel like I was totally confident enough to do that.
Look at that big spider.
So this is just an RNG fight. We just hope that
It's a wampus.
hope that it doesn't crawl around too much.
Ooh, spider butt. It's got mandibles. What the fuck, dude?
So this fight's
It's
fun.
got mandibles on its butt, dude.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's got a detached
Look at
It's like the
that.
crap songs.
somehow.
No.
Yeah, those eggs look like they'd have a lot of crap sauce on them.
Thank you.
It's the shadow of the
Spiders are very good
Colossus.
for the ecosystem. Why are you killing
You and I
Yeah.
are killing a spider.
Because they're
Is
scary.
this spider good?
Exterminators.
Yeah, all spiders.
Is it this one's an invasive species?
I know.
Is it? I mean, is it invasive species? I mean, look at its body. It's got similar markings to, the statues and stuff around it. That seems pretty, natural to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince this murderer.
Alright. So the fight's over.
Wow.
Yep.
Did anyone else see the video where they hooked a dead spider up to a syringe and used it as a crane, as
I saw
a
that.
grabber? That was disgusting.
But wait.
Like,
I know why.
Australian crane games.
I know why it works, because spiders' legs are actually basically hydraulic,
Yeah,
but
you're all right.
and that's why they when they die. But
And that's it.
Why would you do that?
Spider eggs. Kill them all.
I like how all the others died too.
Yeah. I guess without their
it's like
Mama
sympathetic vomiting.
Alright. So
Why
temple
are we
time's
talking
done.
about vomiting?
Alright, we're
Why are
about
you talking about vomiting?
heading back into interesting
I
stuff.
blame you.
Look me in the eyes, fucker.
Hey.
Temple time's interesting.
So we're about to go beat Morpheal now. This is probably the scariest part of the run.
Scariest part.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hurting
man.
from the spider. That's. the
I didn't
spider.
bring a
Yeah,
change of underwear. If I poop myself, it's your fault.
I
I did. It sucks.
I will
Severe.
poop myself right here, right now.
Mild. Okay.
I'm like,
Because yeah, some people they can't even look at it.
I don't know if it's like. It's gotta be like trigger. The frostbite spider from Skyrim is not trigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just gross. It's too damn big.
How would you rate the spider from this game?
Not too bad since it's got like.
so
like
since we
stone
have the
bits.
Uku, we can just
Yeah.
Uku out from this area. You can't warp out.
It throws it off
Um,
for me. So
Technically you have the Uku Junior.
Sorry.
like those.
You can go back to Mama Uku.
Down on the floor. Ugh. What?
But you can't warp out of it.
Spiders on the floor
So
that
it's nice that we
all
got the Uku so we can just go
splayed
back. And now we
Is there
got
anything saying your child has to have the last name on the birth certificate of one of the parents?
You gotta name it something.
Right, but if I wanted to name my child Ryan Rogers II, like, is there anything stopping me from doing that?
I don't know.
But like,
I mean, you only ever think about the first name, but technically their name is whatever you write down on that sheet.
Alright. So earlier in the game, we watched a cutscene that actually gave us a internal boss flag that we can use here
so we got
to
like a
stop the fight early.
window right there.
And then we can then use a bomb arrow, and
Near the bottom
then
of
use
where
ball and
the
chain,
section
and
is.
it's...
It's like an entire spider is. The warfront building is.
That's why you can still use it even You're not supposed to have
But
it.
at the top,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
there's like a wasp nest.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly growing.
You want the poo-poo
So
chest? You
eventually
can have
they're
the
like
poo-poo
flying
chest.
and a fight.
I think the wasp will win.
Did you just hit it
I'd
with
be
the
glad
sword
if
and then
it
it's
was-
open?
I like did a jump attack and then just mashed A to open it.
Oh.
That's something that I do.
It's a ball full of bile. Yeah.
Although I always
I don't think I
comfortable
really
when I remember the parasitic wasps
Shit.
because parasites freak me out.
You're gonna play Parasite Eve.
Not anytime soon.
Friends.
Of things to be afraid of from these parasites.
Alright, so we're gonna get our water bombs now. This next section I definitely need to focus. This will be the more field fight. This is the biggest roadblock in terms of skipping Zora armor. This is a big time loss too if you fail it. So I'm actually gonna grab an extra bomb chest. I normally would not grab this in runs, but I'm gonna grab it today so I have some extras.
Oh, nice.
It's 10 bombs. You only can hold 15, but it's worth it just to have the 5 extra.
That's a fish with a bomb in its mouth.
Go against the champ.
Yep.
This is only my second battle.
Oh, Ryan doing the classic tooth peel of the Oreo paste.
Oh, yeah.
Crushes.
I fought hard to make sure they didn't buy Mega Stuff Oreos. I fought damn hard.
You don't like
The surface area means they dry out.
Alright, boss key skip coming up here. So we can go onto this railing here. And then we gotta
Swimming.
clip into it by kind of shimmying down. And then we gotta get a little bit of angle here, come out a little bit.
Nice.
Alright, I definitely need some quiet for the next few minutes.
So you didn't need to die.
Everybody shut up!
No.
Alright, so the upcoming section is the scariest part. This is the more field fight. We're going to be doing this without the Zora armor, so we have just enough air to get down at the bottom. And we're going to have to be doing an air refill glitch throughout the fight to survive it. It's very easy to mess this up. A lot can go wrong, and it's a pretty costly time loss. So first phase.
It's like a.
Hold on, Phil. First phase here. We can one cycle it with the Master Sword. And then we're now holding a water bomb while we're swimming. So what's going to happen is we're going to actually, once the cutscene kind of gets on, we're going to be swimming up during the cutscene with a water bomb. And this is something that the game actually tells you cannot do. So we're going to drop the bomb once the cutscene's over. And the game's going to think we've resurfaced. And it's actually going to temporarily get rid of our air meter. And then it'll realize we're still underwater and give us a new one. So that'll be how we survive this fight here. Alright, so I had the iron boots on. That's very important because Morphe will normally shoot you up in the air. And if that happens, you know, you can't get back down in time. And I'm gonna go for a re-grab here, if she's nice. Okay, good. We're good.
And that's the most successful fight of this I've ever seen.
That was really good.
Good job.
That's a fish. Are eels fish? No, Colin, you were good. I was telling Chase I would piss on him if he kept talking.
Oh.
As a threat.
Alright, so we got. That's pretty much this first, like, not quite half, over half of the run, but that's pretty much all of the hardest things in the run. There's still some challenges, but all the super scary stuff pretty much is over for the most part. So
That's
it's a little
pretty
bit less stressful for the way rest of the run here, and a lot of cool dungeons coming up. So this last section of the run is really fun, I think.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's a cool rock. I hope that rock isn't used to break a cool force field. Now, I love my force fields unbroken, and my cool rocks completely separate from them.
Alright, so if you remember from earlier, we did not complete the linear Twilight. Remember, I didn't collect that last two. So what's going to happen now, it's supposed to play the Minda's Desperate Hour cutscene, but it's not going to be able to play correctly because it's still Twilight. So it's going to be kind of a weird thing here. So it's going to kind of put us there, but it's not going to be able to play. And then it's going to spawn us where we should be spawned for Minda's Desperate Hour, but it's still going to be Twilight. So now we're going to save warp, and this will bring us to the start of the Twilight, like, you know, it should during the Twilight. And then we're going to go finish the Twilight now, and you'll see that'll be kind of an interesting little thing here.
Are you supposed to get the Master Sword in this game before the first dungeon?
You get it after the Lake Temple normally. The dungeon you just beat, you do, and then you do Minda's Desperate Hour, and then you would go get Master after that. So the first Forest Temple, Gormines, and Lake Temple do not have Master normally.
How's the wolf controlled then? Is it just random?
The wolf, you're not able to turn wolf unless you're in Twilight normally, unless you're in the 4th or later dungeon. So, stuff that I'm doing is just stuff I can do because I'm Master.
Hey, you are wolf in scripted moments, and then you're Link in scripted moments.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
So, what I
actually
just
know shit about this game except for the ending.
So what we just did is something called White Midnight Glitch. So that's where you beat Lake Temple before completing Linear Twilight. We've completed it now, so it's regular out here. But we kind of bypassed the whole Desperate Hour state, where you go and Minda's all sick and you go up and meet Zelda again and she gives, like, sacrifices powers, whatever. That whole section is skipped. So you'll see in a second here that Minda's actually going to be in her white, like, powerless form for the rest of the run. So no B charge, but we could still warp, which we need to be able to warp, really. So that's good. But it saves about 7 minutes. So we gotta get this memo so we can get the desert. So I'm gonna transform to wolf down here, and then you'll see that Minda is still gonna be in her Desperate Hour form. Is like powerless, but we don't need the minute charge anymore in the run. The only thing we actually needed that for was that final boss bug, which is kind of annoying because you could skip it otherwise. But you know, it is what it is. Really? Oh, come on.
Dog it in the water. Number 5, wet dog smell.
All right, so.
Number 4, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is lettuce that someone had their feet on.
So we're showing this Fire the memo that we just got from Fire, but we're not going to, or that we just got from Arby, but we're not going to Gerudo Desert yet. We just showed him that so that we have the ability to do an Oasis flight so that we avoid a soft lock that will happen because we're going to be doing City in the Sky first because when you beat Arbiter's Grounds, that'll go right to the Mirror Chamber, and in this route, with Moonjump, we can make use of that. We can have everything else complete, so once we get there, we can go right to Palace of Twilight. We don't have to go back there later, so it's really nice route-wise. And, oops. So the side up there is to skip the ruby text. If you get rubies in the area, you won't get the text. And remember that boss we fought earlier in Gormines? There he is. And Ilya was over there for a split second. Alright, So about an hour ago, I did that early city in the sky statue clip. And we are back here now. We're going to talk to Shad, and he's basically going to continue that event we started. So when we talk to him, normally after you do that, try warping the cannon, you talk to him and then he runs away. So it actually just warps us down here, and then we can warp the cannon. And this is one of the biggest things that this route is able to take advantage of, where we can actually skip map warping. Map warping is something you get when you go into Elven Twilight. You do the Kakruga Gorge section. You do the when you fight those shadow beasts, you get introduced to map warping. You can press map and then Z to open portals. We can skip that now, which that was convenient. It was fast to be able to warp that way, but it's nice to be able to skip that whole section with that new trick. That's pretty new.
Poor slave driver making Midna work when she's sick.
Well, I'm not making. She's literally just on me for the ride. She's not doing anything.
Make her teleport a whole cannon.
I guess she did teleport. She
to
is still able to.
Your military designs.
So we'll be heading to City in the Sky now. This is a pretty cool dungeon for sure. So 4 dungeons left. We got this one, then we'll move to Arbiter's Grounds, and then all we got after that is Palace of Twilight and Harukasu. So this is kind of
this one, and then we do Forest Temple.
Yeah.
Forest Temple.
Well, we go into Forest Temple.
Forest Temple. Forest Temple.
I find the noises of Uku's disturbing.
It is a little disturbing. And if you listen in the music, you like hear them like chirping. It's weird. Or like going like you can hear them like singing. So you can moon jump over this little gate here, but we have to come through here twice, so it's just faster to just hit the switch. Alright, I'm going to do a little safety save here. There's a trick that's coming up here. I shouldn't fail it, but this is another easy one, but if I fail it, it's costly. So this door right here has a switch on it, or a trigger on it, that activates a fan in the next room. We're going to turn into Wolf Link and then open the door, and the fan is not going to be activated above us, and that's what leads to the boss key. And the reason for that is because the when you open the door as Wolf Link, the trigger the trigger is activated from Wolf Link's back feet. I can recoil back. It's so if you go from as far back or about far back as possible, there's some leniency. You can actually make the fan not activate, so you can come up and get the boss key right away. Very nice.
That key seems large.
And that's the last rupee we need for the run. We will need 10 more rupees to do one flight with the cannon in a little bit. So now we're going to make our way to the second claw shot. So we take a pretty cool route to this one.
Second Trio Shell.
Yeah. Unlike Skyward Sword, we just get 2 right away.
Shell.
Gotta wait for the wind here. So the wind is a little bit RNG here. We can't do LJs when it's going because it'll just blow you. So we go to the bottom door. Normally you come from this door later in the dungeon. But what we're going to do here is take a little bit of a different path to the mid-boss.
Super turbo flame
So we go
perfect.
going down here. And then there's a cool trick we're going to do with the claw shot here with moon jump. So we're going to turn around and claw shot this and then hold a moon jump. And claw shot will actually infinitely go upward and through collision. Because when you claw shot something, you go through all collision. So, which is just a normal thing, like how it's programmed. So you can go through anything and then you can just do a jump attack over to the door for the mid-boss. And we can skip this one. a lot of mid-bosses you can skip in this game. And this one is actually skippable without moon jump. You can do a really precise claw shot because normally after the fight you claw shot up to get to the claw shot. But we don't need to do that method in this one. We can just do this. So just iron boots, sink down, and then moon jump onto the map up to the claw shot.
Theft. Just theft again.
And then we'll save we're about to go back to the beginning of the dungeon.
Dual claw shots. Made for dueling.
It's Kirito, but for claw shots.
My special skill is dual wielding. Just ignore that one axe guy I fought on the bridge in episode 3.
So now we just head to harder up.
I'd like to note that somehow they sold an untold number of copies of a game where there is no magic,
No,
there is no ranged weaponry, there's only melee combat, and they said, but you can't use 2 weapons.
yeah, that's
You can have a shield.
There's some really bad things.
No, they're original ones, I think.
Yeah.
Because on the back of the Wii cover art is a magic meter, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
So, they're original ones, I guess.
Yeah, Zelda's kind of moved away from magic in the past several generations of games.
I'm thinking,
Wind Waker had it.
Wind Waker had it.
That was like-
Skyward Sword didn't.
what else did you use for it besides the leaf?
Leaf, arrows,
That game's version of the magic armor.
and that great spin attack if you get that.
Great spin attack, yeah.
Okay, but what was the last game we had?
The DS games?
Yeah,
No.
A Link had the.
Oh yeah, A Link Between Worlds had it, I think.
Well, it had that meter for the tools.
Right.
That's a magic.
Anyway.
I guess.
So this fight's pretty cool. It's
I mean, that was the last game with like a fire rod.
yeah.
Did you call it Breath of the Wild 2? I think.
I guess Breath of the Wild 2 had rods, but they were just kind of a weapon type.
So
I just want a claw shot, dude. Or a hook shot. Claw shot preferably, because claw shot's cooler than hook shot.
So this one, normally he would run away again and we'd have to wait around again. So if we do this right, we can actually get a regrab on it right away and do this phase really quickly.
There's no way you'll be able to make it up to that divine beast on your own.
Got it? So if you're quick enough, you can get back to him before he flies away. And then the second
Oh, it's the Red Drake from Dark Souls.
The second phase has some pretty cool stuff to it. We have this big cutscene.
Yo, dragon.
Dark Souls.
Can you ride a dragon?
Just love his tone.
Yeah, it's just laying there.
Blah.
gives up on the armor.
It's Red Eyes Black Dragon. Or Black Eyes Red Dragon. I played Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw an additional 2 cards.
That's it.
Pot of Greed. This card allows me to draw an additional 2 cards. I play Pot of Greed. What does it do? It allows me to draw an additional 2 cards.
Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do in this fight
I play Pot of Greed.
is void out. So normally, he'll actually just start flying around again. So by voiding out, it puts it back at the center, and it actually saves 3 seconds to void out and get him back to the center, then wait for him. And so now we're gonna do some flame skips. So normally what you do is you go around and he's chasing you with fire. What we're gonna do is we have iron boots on. We're gonna sink down with the iron boots. And we've gotten down far enough where the game considers, like, thinks that we fell, basically. So now he's just going to sit there, and we can do that.
Wow.
So we'll have to do that same strat again for the second one, or for the second cycle here. But then we
Second?
but for the third cycle, we'll have to do something a little bit different because he switches his strategy.
2 cycles, you say?
You can actually 2 cycle this fight if you have Great Fairy Tears or Rare Tears.
2 cycles. That's like 2 turns, and in 2 turns you can draw 2 cards, or I can draw 2 cards. So I play Pot of Greed.
You're obsessed.
I had to get one more in. All right.
Alright, so we do the same.
I don't even know if
strat
Pot of
again.
Greed is 2 or 3 cards. I'm gonna be real.
It's 2 cards.
Is it 2? Okay. It's a +1 then.
Alright, for the third cycle here, he does 2 flames. He like
Why don't
switches
you have
directions on you.
great
So
fairy
you,
tears?
you have to. You can't skip both flames. We can only skip the second flame. So we're going to do a little bit of a different setup for this one.
But if you had great fairy tears right now, you'd be done already.
That strat is actually good.
Wouldn't that be a time save?
Alright, so we gotta wait for a certain time here, and then we're gonna sink down with our boots, and once again, the game will think that we fell. And then he's gonna start blowing his fire, and then he'll stop, and we can finish the round.
This game is very Shadow of the Colossus. I don't know if this game or Shadow of the Colossus came out first, but
That's enough for me.
It is Shadow, probably first. Because this was on the way, basically.
Alright, so next is Arbiter's Rings after this, which is actually one of the coolest dungeons.
Oh, the forest.
Yes. Well, finally, I told you, about 90 minutes. We're almost there. That's about right.
1 minute, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 2 minutes and 9 seconds, 2 minutes and 8 seconds, 2 minutes and 7 seconds, 2 minutes.
Do you remember the exact time I told you that?
It was like literally 30 minutes in. It might have been 34, so slow it down.
Oh, I'm not at the dungeon yet.
Oh, okay, speed it up.
I still have to get across the desert and fight King Goldwyn.
Desert.
So how's the world record looking?
You know, we're actually not on bad pace. We had a little bit of a trip up early on. Really, the main time losses of this run so far was the Blizzetta. We had a 3 cycle, which that wasn't great. We had that death in Gorham Mines, but that wasn't too bad because in this game you end up in the same room when you die, which is nice. So that wasn't too bad. And we also had second try pillar clip. But that in this category with Moon Jump, you don't lose as much time, so that wasn't too bad. So this run's actually been really nice for a while now. So we'll see. We're not ahead of my PB right now. We're behind by about a couple minutes.
Why does the cat have legs?
And so we put on the iron boots there, so that when we fall here, we can do a jump attack and land on the bridge here instead of landing in the water. And the 10 rupees we have, those we got in City in the Sky, and those will be used to do an Oasis flight.
Dude's wearing a crop top.
Is there a problem with that?
Okay, you
No, it's just a note.
And then Gerudo Desert is very large, and I don't.
Are there any actual like Gerudo people in this game?
Yeah, Ganondorf.
He's a mutation. He barely counts. Ganondorf.
I saw a fan theory that says Ganon cast a spell on the crowd to make them cheer for him. And that's why they sound like that.
I don't know. It sounds better than Roy being someone's boy. I liked Ike. I liked Ike. I liked Ike. Ike was nice.
Forgot about that.
I liked eating apples
Oh,
and
that. And everyone would freak out when we did this stupid boo.
Apples and bananas.
What was the other one? So this is an air trigger, so we can just basically. Yeah.
Air trigger sounds like a fancy thing they put on like a gaming
Alright, good fight.
controller commercial.
So
Now
you
enhanced
can, you can activate the fight from
functionality.
anywhere above, basically, or below. In the any percent you actually go below, you do a map
I
push
feel bad for
to
this guy.
deactivate loading zones, and then go under the map, but we can just go over it in this category.
You harassed this guy so much.
Well, you talked to him one last
You just
time.
flew in through his ceiling and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like he was just big chilling with his big porky boy. You know, I would just sit. You
I
know,
mean, he does set the place on fire.
okay, but here's my thing. Like, you know, if there was
And he
a
does
single,
capture. He literally comes in, captures kids from your home village, and runs away. And that's the last.
So
That's
what? Your village is a fucking hellhole. Honestly, they're
What?
better off.
It's like the most peaceful place in the game.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
It literally is.
You can't see all the rampant drug testing that illegal drug testing that happens under.
All right, we're heading into the dungeon now. This is.
Why is it the forest?
Forest Temple?
This is the forest
Why is
temple.
Because it's the one from Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. It like. It's
Oh, because it's got the Yeah, I never finished that one.
All right, so this is the shortest dungeon in the run. If it goes well, it should be about 4 minutes from when we entered.
You know, I like that funny skeleton man. I would really hate it if he happened to be like intrinsically connected to your character's story and backstory in some way.
So it's faster to go up the stairs there. Because. Well, actually, because.
Who's out here meticulously arranging the skulls?
Tiny feet.
And where are they taking the rest of the bodies?
We have a lot of questions.
I think this game could provide answers. Who do you think is putting the skulls there, Josiah? And what happens to the bodies the skulls came with?
Joe, would you like to see another Darker Zelda like Twilight Princess?
I would like to see a Twilight Princess 2. So bad. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. But.
Because Midna died.
See, this is the first temple.
So this is like the same sort of thing.
Wow, it's like a place. And there's...
But we're not going to collect any of them. We got to beat this dungeon in 4 minutes, so we can't really waste our time.
Just go faster.
Yeah, that's 1 Poe per minute.
And then we also have to go and beat the dungeon after that. So
Oh yeah, that's just
And then
0
also-
seconds because it's so easy, right?
yeah. You got it.
You get the best item in the game, too.
Oh,
The spinner.
yeah.
Can you skip that?
I would hate if we didn't get that item. That would suck a bit.
How do
You know,
get
I'll
the mouse
disconnect
if you
your
don't have it?
console if you don't get the spin.
Stay tuned.
I'm looking at that disconnector. I'm
All
looking
right.
at disconnecting some things. It'd be real bad if somebody hit the reset button, wouldn't it be?
Alright, so we're doing that same trick we did earlier in Temple of Time to skip getting the pose here. We had to watch the cutscene of the pose, otherwise it would just start while we're doing this trick, so we have to do that. But we can just skip all the pose.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to beat the boss without the spinner, you know.
Yeah.
That's how Zelda bosses work.
Wouldn't that suck?
Like, how would you deal with all these,
So this boss key is
Big
even. I don't care. Even without Moonjump, it's really easy to get to that. There's even a glitchless strategy to get to that.
It's called playing the game.
No, like you're not supposed to be able to get it from that way, but it's really easy too.
And look at that spinner-shaped hole.
Yeah. So here's a hint on how we're gonna beat this boss without the spinner. Yeah, the spinner is the only item we can use to get away from my Wii.
Oh, no, that's eject.
Yeah, get out of here. I'll banish you from my couch and I'm not gonna.
You couldn't do that. You need me.
I do need you.
Yo, what's up, bro? He skipped the spinner because he's a nerd.
Alright.
Wow, that's like the best item.
I know.
They're all freaking out. Alright, so
That's like the coolest item.
we're gonna be doing
Like a
Stallard.
fucking dragon.
Alright, it's coming up to Stallard skip. This is pretty hard to skip.
He's lording over all the stalls.
Alright,
He's a menace in the bathroom.
so right to the left of us.
That's Jared.
Right to the left of us, or behind us now, is the door, and what we just did is called claw shot active glitch, where we can actually have claw shot things come to us if we time it right.
It's just chilling. Oh, I remember this.
And so now what we can do is claw shot. If we time it right, we did not get in, so we gotta give it another shot here.
Stop.
No, come on. And that's our chance.
So funny.
But she didn't beat the Star Lord.
But the dungeon's considered complete because the you still get the prompt, like the save prompt, which you get after every dungeon. So that's what is considered beating a dungeon,
But
basically.
if you walk back in there, is the Star Lord still there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I found my SD card.
Nice.
Was it?
It was on my desk and I forgot about it.
Oh. Good. All right. So this Shadow Beast fight we have to do in a certain way here because there is a cutscene trigger right behind us that would normally spawn the mirror chamber. Did I hit him? I hate it because there's the. Really? There's a cutscene that spawns the mirror chamber, but really, that's ridiculous. That's annoying.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's a real statement right there.
And you want to do this before, otherwise you have to like watch the cutscene of them falling down twice, and that'd be slow. But that was kind of a bad fight.
Falling down. Falling down.
So now, since we beat them, we can activate the cutscene now.
You know what
So-
I realized, Caleb? He didn't get the spinner, so he's rejecting Gurren Lagann.
Dude, this
He's not believing in the him that believes in him.
bro. Oh, come on, Joe.
You gotta believe in the you that
That's
believes in you, Joe.
growth. That's
Man, Kamina really made it like 3 episodes before he died.
yeah.
Alright, so we got 2 dungeons left. All we got is House of Twilight and Harrow Castle. If you haven't seen House of Twilight dungeon, then some dungeons with Harrow Castle. So let's see this one.
Maybe third.
Almost kind of home stretch here.
Paper are not uniform at all.
Alright, so Palace is usually one of the longer dungeons.
If I read them, hit a 10.
Force dungeon?
No, it's not the first time.
You edited it out 3 Force Temples.
Yeah. Alright.
Ma.
So we can skip getting the light sword, which is normally the first objective
Chris Pratt.
in the
Hey guys.
in the
Hey,
dungeon
Chris.
here.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, it will be fine.
Awesome. Hey everybody, my name is Mario. Wahoo, let's go.
Alright, so we only get that one key.
Ill-eggable.
How you doing?
Ill-eggable. Epitome.
Epitome.
Banana 5. Number 3. Burger King foot lettuce.
Alright, we're about to do a big skip.
Number 1. Big skip.
Alright, so we normally get the light sword, but we just got the one key because there's one key required in the second half of this dungeon. Where it's required to get the light sword, so we had to get one extra key. So we can skip the 2 wings to get the light sword and then just go to the middle section, or the second portion of the dungeon.
Better average damage.
You got a gamer laptop here.
Gamer.
Look at those WASD.
Assigned gamer at birth.
So these ones are, normally you would have the light sword at this point, so you can actually just one-hit kill these. So it's actually a little bit tougher because we don't have a light sword going through to kill all these.
That's what you get for cheating, Joe.
Yeah.
Cheaters never prosper.
It is worth it.
Cheaters never prosper.
Number 14. Cheaters never prosper.
Is that gonna, okay. Kind of a weird little movement there.
Number 6. Hamster muffin. This muffin is looking an awful lot like a hamster.
Number 8. Bathtub full of noodles.
The last thing you want in your Legend of Zelda speedrun is a spinner.
Spinner.
I don't think we've been keeping up on our comments. If there's been any comments.
What's the comments like, Joe?
There has been. I checked. There has
Mostly Kendall.
There has been.
Oh, there has been? Oh. We haven't been.
It's
I'm
alright.
sorry.
Why is Minna so desperate for an hour, Josiah?
Because she's powerless and we skipped giving her power back.
No, that's too bad.
Where's the rupee roll segment of this run?
Oh, is that Blake? There's no rupee roll. The
Where's
only-
fish percent?
Why?
Fish percent.
Kendall replied with, "Yo, fish percent," and then said, "Goat percent is still better." She was very upset about the goats.
Yeah.
She did say, "I cry."
Yeah, she loves the goats.
That's it.
So we gotta
And,
wait a little bit
that's,
here to
that's the
trigger
summary
that
of all the comments for the entire run.
I love when Link is fun.
Oh, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I started watching League of Legends.
Oh
Well, there's
boy.
a guy I watch on YouTube started playing League of Legends now, and it's like I like him. You know, at least it's fun enough to watch League of Legends. He plays it. I mean, I started watching him play Heroes of the Storm, so you know, really not that good.
This is attacking.
Yeah, they have like a big energy ball thing, but I'm too fast.
Number 7, big
Okay,
energy
staring
ball.
at
Yeah. So this is heading into the room right before the Xant's room here. And this is one of the coolest boss fights, I'd say. And normally you have to fight all these shadow beasts, but we can just skip them all.
Nerd. Oh, I hit the funny bone.
No, I might.
Bastards.
Alright.
You. Yeah, now you. I'm off camera, they can't see this.
No, they can't.
What up?
First boss fight.
I'm little
I'd say
Jay
this is not my
Corner.
favorite.
I'm little Jay Corner down in the corner. What up?
So Xant pretty much repeats a lot of past boss fights. Most of which we have been in the music video.
Super King Xant.
Alright, so first phase here, we'll go back to Dai Baba. You throw the boomerang. And so for Zan, the only hit that matters is the last hit of my combo. So you're going to notice I'm going to be kind of doing my attacks early, like before he even gets to land. Because the only attack that matters is the last one, so we save time there.
Crazy.
Wow.
In
that's
most
crazy.
in most cases. For the second phase here, we go to the this is the mid boss of Worm Mines. There is a one cycle that's kind of tricky. Oh, I did not get it. There is a one cycle you can do that's kind of tricky.
You guys notice
So
that
for this one, it's just
the sides of his little magic circle thing kind
Yeah,
of
this
looks
one
like
is
the
pretty
one-hit
cool.
obliterator from Breath of the Wild. Maybe it was all planned from the beginning.
Alright, so this is the final place where we need to skip Zora armor. So we'll have to do the air refill glitch a few times here.
Dude. What is it called?
Big fish. Come here. Get over here.
So that combo I did like left, right, and then up, left. That's a little bit faster than just doing like all stabs. Especially underwater, you want to do the fastest combo attack. Because your swing's so slow over here. And then he always appears from the one furthest away from you. So I just go in between these two and then just wait and see which one opens. Right over there. Or right, left, up, down.
You know, he's got a pretty big, like, hat on, you know.
Do water bombs fill up in the Wii U version?
Alright, so this is the Ook fight. I just do stabs there because sometimes the pillars can kind of get in the way of the attacks. And then we got two more phases here. First we have the Snow Peak phase. In this phase we're going to be taking some fall damage, appropriate. Yeah. So I'll need to be at 3 hearts or less. So I'm just taking one part of damage there. So we'll death warp in a little bit here. So I kind of have a strat there where I sort of jump attack him to keep up with him. A little bit easier. Alright, final phase here. This is pretty tricky. So once again, this is going to be where the last hit of the combo is the only one that matters. If we do this right, it's really quick. It really matters about the first hit especially.
It's Gordon Ramsay.
Right?
Let's go.
Alright.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, Joe, he's got a pretty big hat on. He had some kind of attack that could, like, rend his head coverage. Some kind of helm splitter.
Oh, yeah?
You could probably beat him fast.
You think so?
Probably.
He takes off his helmet in that cutscene that we just skipped. And then Minda blows him up like a balloon, so.
I don't remember that.
Dude, it's true. Like, she literally, like, he makes her so angry that she takes her hand and, like, pops him like a balloon. It's insane.
Expansion.
But isn't he alive though?
Yeah, we didn't technically kill him. Yeah.
But yeah, if any of you watching the VOD want to see that, you would just want to look up Zant inflation on Google.
So, how does Ant die then?
Minda kills him, technically.
Oh, then.
Gun gang or go.
So we're doing a jump here to skip text. There's still one more text that we'll get no matter what, but there's 2 text boxes there.
I thought Ganondorf goes.
Oh, Zant does that.
Oh, besides
Oh no, Zant goes on Ganondorf.
I just threw something
Right.
else, like,
He's just such a loser. I didn't think he was capable of anything.
Alright, I made a little promise.
You don't need to see the.
No, we need to see it. It's we got a little 20-second time loss for the fans. I think it's appropriate.
Joe's just trying to cover for the fact that his run's already dead.
This run actually isn't that bad, to be honest. I'm really happy with this run. There he is.
Hey! The postman.
Yo, when's the postman boss fight?
So,
Take this letter and read it at your leisure.
if we would have already gotten a letter where he introduced himself, he would have like 7 letters, like, the next time you see him. But he always just has the one introduction letter the first time. So we just got Hyrule Castle left now.
Man, come on, you gotta get sub 230. Let's see it.
Not gonna happen today.
4 more minutes to be unscheduled. Or no. We missed.
Oh, Joe.
It's not my fault.
It is.
What's
all your
next? I'm gonna be finishing this run well ahead of my time.
You did the schedule wrong.
I did not.
Yeah.
Alright,
Honestly,
so we got
Project-
this cutscene here.
Oh wow, look at all those cool rocks.
Those are fused shadows.
Oh, it's a one big cool rock now. Oh man, it's kind of close to my favorite force field. Ooh, I'll get stuck to the wall, nerd.
We skipped the cutscene of realizing how powerful the fused shadows are. That's a lovely cutscene of tons of Ilias falling from the sky. It's weird. Disturbing.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a pretty big rock. Hey, it's really close to my favorite force field though. I don't like this. Yeah, I like to keep them separate, but it looks like we're flying for. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What is it doing? My favorite force field. Don't you dare!
What's that your favorite first field?
I know it's a force field. You know, it's there. I just think it's my favorite. You know, and those were my favorite cool rocks.
Okay, give us a rating of your favorite Zelda force fields, Josh.
Definitely like the invisible barrier in Wind Waker.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah,
the most.
number 4.
Is that number 1?
Number 1,
No, you
Wind
shouldn't.
Waker, big Hyrule barrier. Despite what you might think, this barrier is actually very big and totally invisible. Yet
1
speedrunners
second.
still
1
found a
second.
way.
Give me 30 seconds. So you can't do the white minute glitch in regular speedrunning because those 2 guards are there because Hyrule Castle is still in its minute of desperate hour state, and that's the reason you can't use that glitch in regular speedruns. Because even though the barrier got taken down, the guards still stand there blocking your way, so you have to do that. You need to let it out for a little bit.
Way past it. But even still, this is definitely my number 1 force field.
Number 2.
Number 2. This one in Twilight Princess. This force field's got it all. Books, shape, and an abundance of cool rocks. But unfortunately, those cool rocks will spell the doom of your favorite force field.
Number 3.
30 seconds here. So normally in most speedruns that don't have moon jump, you would go and fight King Bolden 4, and which is faster than doing this key. But in this, with moon jump, it's very quick to get the key faster than going to fight King Bolden because we can just jump up on the roof here, and then oh come on, are you serious? If you want to just fall down, you don't want to jump. So let's just give it another try here. Good. And the key's right here. We can just save warp out because you'll be trapped if you want to go back to the main room anyway. Oh, whoops. I'm supposed to do that next.
Number 30. This invisible wall. It's actually fully off the map, so you'll never see it. But that's why it's my hipster favorite.
What was your favorites? Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Leave a like and be sure to subscribe. Next week, talking about my favorite iron boots.
Alright. Nice conclusion of the video. We're gonna first.
Welcome back.
No.
You're on the voice playlist.
We are in the final
Every
8
video.
minutes of this run, and you're gonna do.
Yes.
Yo, we're on the final 4 minutes of this run.
All right.
That's right.
All right. So first, we can skip the dark nut fight, and actually keeps the,
What's up,
the
bros?
boss fight music
Dude,
active going
dude
as
died
long as
here.
you're in this area. Nope.
A critical error. Look at those sky puppies.
And so yeah, it keeps the music here. And then these guys up here, we need to bomb them.
You get your life saved.
We skipped that, actually.
Link doesn't
Oh,
need
come on.
friends.
Really?
Link can jump the moon.
Alright, we'll try this strat.
That bomb is only for water. I wasn't even trying to do the voice that time. That was an accident.
Alright. Okay, so cool,
Might be a little
cool
stuck.
little skip coming up here. So Ryan mentioned there's a cutscene where Link gets his life saved by something that would do half-hearted damage.
Maybe that one arrow was stronger.
No, it's not.
How would you know?
Was. You never gotten hit by
Were
a
you
heavier.
there?
One sentence in. Alright, so what we can do instead is skip that cutscene by doing an LJA over here. That's a little tight, actually.
This looks like a good place to get your life saved.
Alright, so we can open up the boss key. Big key. And then use the rest of our bombs here to blow us up. And this death warp is going to just put us in front of that first room we entered from, which is actually faster than watching the cutscene of Link. Well, you know, we died anyway, I guess, either. So, I mean...
Right.
You know, if someone had saved your life there.
Yeah, right? Talked us out of the blowing us up there.
You had a friend who talked to you when you were having a hard
we
time.
needed a friend there, yeah. So we respawn here, and we're going to be going up to the staircase, heading up to Ganon's lair, castle area. So you can
actually,
skip.
it's not Ganon, it's Ganondorf.
Yep, you're right. So you can do a side up here and skip the whole thing if you do it right. So I gotta take care of these guys now. So if you don't get it right away, these idiots will spawn.
Rats.
Little rats.
I'm trying to get us demonetized, Joe.
Oh, that's not gonna work. No. So I'll have to try it again.
You know what that means? More rats.
But if we get it right away, hopefully.
Give them a couple jokes.
Really? Come on. Is that gonna work? Nope. Didn't think so. Yep, this is dumb. Really stupid. This is a not really hard thing here. Of course. Okay. We're gonna go over here.
Oh yeah, pot of green was a joke for about 10 minutes.
I'm gonna send them back. Full Todio character more.
Alright, that's a backup strat you can do.
Bro, you see, my deck was nothing but Exodia.
Alright.
How many times did you draw 2 cards from the deck and put them in your hand?
At least 3 times.
Alright, so coming up on the final fights here.
2 cards. My favorite card is Luster Dragon. He
Alright.
has 2,000 attack points, 2,000 defense points, and does nothing.
Okay. So first part we got is Puppet Zelda. This is all RNG.
I don't see any Ganon or Ganondorf here. Everyone knows puppets have strings. Jetman's volley!
So if you get under, you don't have to volley it. You can just get it right away. So the way Zelda works, the minimum you can have is 7 for cycles, but it has to be on the 1st, 3rd, and 7th. So there's a minimum of 1 attack between the first 2 attacks and a minimum of 3 between the 2nd and 3rd. So right here, now there will be at least 3 random other attacks besides the
Could
energy
theoretically
ball.
go on forever.
Yeah, technically. Hopefully not. So we're hoping for a 7th cycle. So we're hoping for just 3 random attacks. Ideally, we get the stab attacks because they're faster than the Triforce one you just saw. And when the Triforce ones come up, I actually look at the ground because it gets less lag.
2 Triforce items. Stop it. Other voices, please. Other voices.
So now we have a chance to get the energy balls. So if it's a 7 cycle, which would be nice. Very good.
Such amazing.
So now we got Beast Ganon here.
The Ganon is stored in the lungs.
So we do a specific attack pattern there, and that is basically the max amount of damage you can do to him in 1 cycle. We're going to try to do that same attack pattern again.
You see, this could be Ganon.
Very good. So now he's 1 hit away from dying. So because of that, he's not going to have any RNG in the portal section here. Once he wipes away, he'll only come out of the first one that he spawns out. So it takes out the RNG, and it's just a faster fight because you don't have to transform it for this last one here. Because you can't use the you can't use the ball and chain in the last one, so it's nice you can just do a 1 hit.
So Ganon doesn't count as a person, which is why you can transform in front of him. Racist. Racist.
Interesting logic there.
So now he's gonna
That's
have
not
a.
my rules, it's the game.
Now he has a dirty diaper here in this next scene.
You see, Batman.
All right, so
Every
I
creepy time.
think it's time to put a meme to bed.
Alright, hey Caleb, are you ready to stop time?
I'm ready.
So not on this one.
Ready for Zelda to shoot an arrow. But actually, Joe, we should.
As a matter of fact, this is not the Legend of Zelda. It's the legend of something far greater. A really lame story. Welcome to the show, Blake. You're the winner. Blake's not even here, I don't think. That's the best part.
So you can do those sharp turns, and then it's really hard to get them. All right, it's to bed.
Okay,
Better get ready.
All right, we need
you want to
someone
be
on
ready
time.
on timer, Chris?
So
Just
make
click
sure,
on
make
thing
sure
just to
light
make
split
sure.
is selected,
There you go.
and then it's just the space bar. So this fight, if we do it right, is only 12 seconds.
Counting.
Once we gain control.
It's sort of made of light. Why does he need a scabbard?
But this has been a really fun run. I'm really happy with how it went. A few mistakes early on in Gora Mines and Snow Peak and things, but this is only a few minutes off PV. This has been really nice. This is not an easy run, so I'm really happy with how it went, regardless of how this final fight goes. Actually, it will be a little bit over 12 seconds because I'm going to do one funny thing.
Ganondorf force field.
So 1. I messed it up. Went a little bit early there. Went early again, jeez. Now he kicks me in the booty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to do that.
Ganondorf wins the Link matchup.
And time.
Woo!
What did we get? What did we get?
You should have done
35.
PB!
No, but this was nice.
What is your PB?
231.26.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, so 235. I'd say this is a pretty much an average run.
What was your biggest mistake?
Biggest mistake was probably
Putting me on the couch.
No, you were fun. Few moments like Morpheal I needed some play, but I thought this was really good. Biggest mistakes, we had the 3-cycle Zelda, which was pretty silly, in Snow Peak early on. We had that death in Gora Mines, but that wasn't too bad because we ended up we still spawned in the same room. We missed Pillar Clip once, but that's not too bad in Moonjump because you can just Moonjump to the surface, you don't have to game over. Besides that, just a few sloppy things here and there. Trying to think. There's definitely other things, but the stupid Hyrule Castle stair clip. Normally that's not nearly as hard. But there is one funny thing we're gonna see in the just in this first part of the cutscene for the credits here. So there's a reason I put on these iron boots. It'll happen right after this little part here. No moon jump. We're done with those.
Moon Humpus. Moon Humpus.
So Link is gonna see Midna at the top of this hill.
Oh yeah, Midnight. I love her.
Maybe-
She's like this tiny little thing.
Yeah, you're right. And Link's gonna show off his incredible leg strength in a second here. It's
Don't
pretty
spoil it.
impressive. We've seen Link, go around with iron boots before. He just stomps around pretty slow.
Man, those 4 things
after-
look significant.
That's some incredible leg strength.
Cha-cha slide. Slide to left.
And here is normal Midna. If she actually already didn't have her full power to begin with, and then she loses even more of it, pretty much all of it, in the Desperate Hour state. This is her natural form here.
Wow, I hate that. That just ruins the character for me.
Why?
I liked it when Midna was just, like a little thing, just kind of a thing.
There's a lot of people
little
that feel that way.
thing, But now it's like a person. People are cringe.
Well, I think that's it for TP though. That was fun run.
Doing it next year?
We'll see.